Hello, hello, hello. I mean, this shit has a microphone. It sucks. There we go. It's got to be fixed now, right? It's fixed. All right, we're good. Guys, I forgot to unpack my shit. All right. How's my shit look, by the way? Is this... So, back in Florida, this camera looked really good. Here, I realized it didn't look as good. So I changed the lighting in this room to make it look warmer and softer. But I'm wondering, can you guys tell the difference compared to the past or what? Does this look like the same old haze stream? Is this camera worth it, guys, now, or is it not worth it? You know what I mean? Yeah. This camera, I don't know. Doesn't look as good as Florida. Definitely not. Right? So, but anyway, guys, we are having a debate today, and a few things, okay? We're going to be doing Atomic Heart, I think, at the end of the stream. And I think what I decided to do, I'm not going to do a live stream Let's Play focusing so much on that, as much as a uploaded review of the game, which I'll upload through edited compilations on Rumble. But anyway, we have a debate, and this is how the debate's going to go. So there's topics that we're going to explore in this debate that are not necessarily acceptable according to YouTube. They're plainly not allowed on YouTube, pretty much. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to migrate over to Rumble as soon as we get into that territory. But first, we're going to cover the basics when it comes to Maga, communism, and the rest. And then we're going to immediately, go to Rumble through the whole thing. Now, I know Zerk, the big news, some of the big news, there's a lot of fucking news. Some of the big news is, holy shit, Zerka got permabanned from Twitch. All I can say is Twitch is a fucking hell website. Fuck Twitch. Everyone's leaving Twitch. Everyone's migrating to Kick. As soon as I saw Aiden Ross migrate... By the way, guys, if you know, you know. Speaking of Kick, there's some interesting things going on with that, which I'm not going to tell you about. I will never tell you guys about that, right? You're not going to hear about it, period. But there's interesting... Hold on. Wait a second. Uh-oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, I did not multi-stream. Okay, never mind. We're not on Rumble yet. We're not on Rumble yet. I gotta give you the Rumble link as soon as we migrate over. Fuck, I was planning on multi-streaming to Kick tonight and not telling anyone. Guys, I do have a Kick channel. I have a Kick account. I want to kind of dip my toes on Kick, right? Probably the future is going to be me streaming on Kick. So if you don't know what Kick is, I'll tell you what. Kick has a lot of degen shit on that site because the gambling ban on Twitch had all these streamers migrate over to Kick, which is it's getting its money straight up from gambling, right? The website is. Just like Twitch gets its money from Amazon and their blood money with the Department of Defense. It's all sin. It's all fucking evil. That's one of the considerations I had to take. But the thing is, the Trainwrecks TV is the guy who set up Kick. It's his website. He's the CEO of Kick. So Trainwrecks is cool with Zerka, and that whole crowd is the cool part of Twitch. Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross, whatever. You can critique their gambling stuff. But honestly, I don't think gambling is any more immoral than fucking Amazon, right? If you want to talk about the morality shit. Obviously, I would never gamble or do any kind of... I would never gamble, or obviously I'm not going to do OnlyFans bullshit. But Kick has that stuff in it, but it's kind of got the crowd that I'd like, that I always wanted to be more close to on Twitch, right? The Aiden Ross kind of crowd, that whole thing. The WL community, yeah, they're all migrating over to Kick.com. And I'm not 100% sold on the site, but I do want to kind of start streaming there just to see what kind of audience we can reach there and so on and so forth. But I'm not fully committed to Kick. Thank you. Holy fuck, Destiny's Crackio. Thank you so much. I think it's going to be Rumble. I think Rumble is what it is going to be. But the nice thing about Kick is they really don't have the censorship thing going on, as far as I know. And it's like a huge... It's going to be like the next Twitch. Kick is going to be like a huge Twitch competitor. It's the next Twitch, pretty much. And Kick has like a way better... See, the nice thing about Kick is that it's community integration. It's got all the shit Twitch had when it comes to the chats, the emotes, the whole subscriber deal thing, and they give you a 95-5 revenue split. It's incredible. So the community building stuff, I mean, any of you guys who missed the Twitch days, that's what Kick would be. And I am pretty confident that if I went on Kick, I'd make a killing as far as news and politics content is concerned. I mean, it's a niche. It's something no one else is doing on Kick. So I'm probably going to dual stream on Rumble and Kick, but not tonight. I don't want anyone going to Kick to even look if I'm streaming there because I don't want the audience to be divided. Okay? But we're going to be debating that guy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a PC segment, and then we're going to have a YouTube, non-YouTube friendly segment, because YouTube, they're going crazy with the censorship right now, and it's really not possible to debate the topic we want to debate, which is about Grover Furr and whether Grover Furr is a liar or not, and that's what we're going to be debating tonight. But that can't be debated on YouTube if we're going to be debating the Poland stuff, which is what I think we're going to be debating on. So that's going to go straight to Rumble. And I'm going to be spamming the link in the chat. Thank you so much, Kate, John. Appreciate you. Kick. I'm going to be spamming that in the chat. Anyway, on the Zerka thing, it's incredible. But I'm not that surprised. Twitch is a dying fucking website. I think Zerka's going to do fine on Kick.com especially, and on YouTube, right? But I heard he got snaked. And all I could say is fuck Twitch, fuck Twitch. What a piece of shit website. Take 50% of your fucking money. Website's dying. There's nothing really going on there anymore. And what else? What can you say, right? Twitch is a piece of shit website. What can you fucking say? All right, guys, without any further ado, I don't believe I have any more announcements. Oh, yeah, I'm changing this whole fucking setup. I might be painting the walls. I realized, like, the white wall aesthetic, it was horrible, right? So I'm going to be changing this room. There's a lot of things I'm going to be doing. But without any further ado, let's get into the fucking debate. How about that? So this person they're calling themselves a Rothbardian Neocon. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Let's get right into it. What up, bitch? Okay. We're going to have to do this. I have to input my voice settings because my Yeti was gone for a while. Okay, we're good. All right. Yo! Unmute yourself. Hello?
What's up?
Shut the fuck up, bitch. So this is how we're going to do this. Part one of this... Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I'll tell you. You kept me waiting for 30 fucking minutes.
I don't give a fuck how much I kept you waiting. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You're a nobody. I don't have to answer to you. You're a fucking nobody. I'm giving you the opportunity very gracefully to come up here and fucking debate me. So shut the fuck up and don't tell me where were you? I can be as late as I want, little bitch. You're a fucking nobody, and I'm gracing you the opportunity to debate the con. So I'm gonna let you know and lay down how we're gonna fucking do this. Part one. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Jacking off in the shower? Can you tell me that, please? I'll shut up.
Hey, I don't have to fucking jack off. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I got a girlfriend. I don't have to jack off. Hey, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, little bitch. Shut the fuck up, little bitch. Part one of this debate is going to be about your comments surrounding Maga communism and all that whole business. Part two is going to be about Grover Furr. So we're going to do part one first. That's going to be on YouTube. As soon as we get into the Grover Furr stuff, we're going to be going into the part two. So you made a number of comments on Maga communism. Can you share to the Yeah. Relay to us your comments on MAGA communism and libertarian Stalinism, and explain to us how these are actually ideologies rather than provocative phrases or slogans. Why are these ideologies?
Oh, wait. So which one is it? An ideology which will never be implemented, or a LARP? Which one is it? You choose.
It's actually neither of those things, because the ideology in question is orthodox Marxism-Leninism, but we're using the word libertarian Stalinism in order to basically provoke people into thinking about the meaning of historical communist experience in ways they haven't before. As for MAGA communism, that's a slogan meant to represent a pivot into a completely new revolutionary strategy. So neither of them are ideologies. We're just dealing with orthodox Marxism-Leninism in the American context. What are your questions, little boy? What are your questions?
I agree that you embrace the zeitgeist of MAGA communism, especially the communist part.
I invented MAGA communism.
No, because you were like, communists are lazy pieces of fucking soy jacks, and you were like 34 minutes late
I
to the
invented
debate.
MAGA communism.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. The earliest use of the term came from my community, and I was the first one to fucking put it on the map. So yes,
I'll invent. Today I'm going to defend anarcho neoconservatism. Here you go.
Okay, well you can do that to your best of your ability.
Why are you such a cuck? No, honestly, why are you such a cuck?
Why am I a cuck?
Yeah. Why?
Any arguments?
I think you are a cuck because, firstly, your general chat is full of deep state, psyops, right?
Based on what? Based on what?
Well, Stannis is a perfect example.
Stannis is a funny troll, and we keep him around because he makes us laugh. No, he's not. He's funny. No, he's not. If you are genuinely shut the fuck up. If
he is a psyop.
Shut up.
The reason why he's a psyop
he's a psyop. Nobody cares. I don't care if he's a psyop. He's funny. Anyone who falls for Stannis' trolling is a fucking idiot, and we use him to filter dumbasses out of our fucking community. Yeah, he goes viral on Reddit all the time, and he goes viral on Twitter all the time, because a bunch of fucking dumbasses can't tell when someone's fucking making a parody or not. We use Stannis to literally filter dumbasses we don't want in our fucking community.
All right,
Any other comments?
This is my theory. All right? Stannis, he becomes famous because your most viewed video of all time on your channel is, has him in the video.
Okay.
And, you make him look like a little bitch.
Okay.
And the only theory behind this is that he and you kind of socially engineered this whole...
No, we didn't. I've never talked to Stannis.
No, you did.
You did. What proof? Where's your proof? 100%. I don't know who the fuck Stannis is. I've never talked to him in my life.
Yes, you do. Your fucking general chat always share his fucking tweets. He's a psyop. He's a psyop to make people...
Stannis is popular in my community because his tweets are so inflammatory and ridiculous that everyone laughs at it because they think it's funny.
This whole thing about Neocon to Marxist-Leninist, it's just a psyop to get people on your side. Listen, you made a whole video about how how anarchists make your side look
Dude,
bad.
You want to debate Stannis or you want to debate me? What do you want to say?
No, you always talk about how the anarchists on the left always team up with the feds. What you're doing is identical.
How is that? Explain it.
Because you are manipulating the rhetoric on your channel to make it look genuine, when in fact it is literally just behind the scenes kind of puppetry in order to create a sense of you winning the debate, when in fact it's literally psyops. You're just running.
What do you mean
psyops.
by that? Can you elaborate what you mean?
Okay, you and Stannis know each other very well, I guarantee it. Okay. And then you tell him to come on the server. Wait. Be quiet.
Okay.
Be quiet. Okay.
Go ahead. Explain the conspiracy. I'm curious now.
All right. So Stannis, he's this neoconservative, and he comes on your channel and in your most viewed video and defends all this apparent immoral shit. And then over time he transfers into this Marxist-Leninist and affirms your viewpoint. This is all just a made up fucking made up transition to prove that your ideals are apparently
Do you have any evidence? Any evidence?
All right, this is the thing, right? Have you seen his Twitter? His Twitter is literally regurgitating it's just a fucking fanboy account of yours. That's all it is.
What? So how is that evidence that I know Stannis and this is all fucking conspiracy to make me look good? Stannis doesn't make us look good, by the way. Stannis says
yes,
dumb.
He does.
Stannis makes us look horribly, actually. But we actually don't care because anyone who falls for Stannis' trolling is too stupid to be part of our community anyway, so we don't give a fuck. But Stannis makes us look horribly. Stannis literally is an optics nuclear bomb. Stannis is he would be considered the worst optics disaster for any community except ours because we don't want dumbasses in our fucking community.
You even called him a punching bag. You
What?
in your most viewed video, you in
Total
your
Stannis
most
victory
viewed
over
video called him
Malfoy
a
Anglo.
quote unquote punching bag. It's literally
Yeah,
just him.
dude, you don't
It's
know, you
literally
don't know
just
who
him.
Stannis is. All right, so you're not educated on who Stannis is, so I'll explain it to
Yes,
you.
I am. He's a Fed.
Stannis, I don't care if he's a Fed, but he's been here from the beginning to troll our community, and he's been trolling for so long that eventually
Whoa.
he just,
Oh, the
as
difference
his
is he's a
newest
Psyop.
troll, he decided to join us, which we're
Oh,
okay
he's-
with. We welcome
this
it
is
with
a
open
troll.
arms. But
This
he's
is a
always
troll. This
trolled
is-
us. He's always been here to troll. He's always been here to troll.
He's a psyop because you are trying to, you've got nothing, your community has
Dude.
nothing going for you. So you socially engineer the psyop
Okay,
to make it
listen,
look
listen.
like you're
Ethiopia,
able-
Ethiopia, shut up. There's no moderator here, but I'm trying to keep this as fair as possible as far as a rational.
I'll have a shouting
back and
match.
forth.
I'll have a shouting match with you, bitch.
Okay,
I'm down
no.
for it.
Let's be rational here. Why don't we just be rational? So
Okay.
you need to explain the argumentation and the reasoning and the evidence that is behind the claims you're making, because you keep repeating that he's a psyop, but where's the meat and potatoes behind the claim? That you're making. Why? Stop repeating the claim. Tell us why you believe this and why we should believe it. Convince us. Go ahead.
The reason why, I think it's just intuitive.
Okay, well, we don't share your intuition, so you're going to have to go beyond the threshold of intuition into the realm of
All right.
evidence and fact. So explain that to us.
All right. Well, I watched your most viewed video, and the reason why it's your most viewed video is like this provocative, like shout in fucking thing, and like I know you created alts to create the meme. The fucking I am a mongoloid meme. Like you created alts in order to like spread that. I know you did, obviously.
So that's another claim that I'm going to ask you to substantiate with evidence. What evidence is there that? So Wow Mao is my alt, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, and you're totally being serious right now. So these are all claims you can make with no evidence and no reasoning behind them. Why should we care what you have to say if you have nothing to offer us to convince us?
Why were you 30 minutes late?
What? What an expert debater. Dude, are you actually here to debate or what?
Yeah, all right, we'll debate Marxism, whatever you want to debate.
Yeah, so you made some comments in the general chat saying that MAGA
Marxism.
communism is a meme ideology or a made-up ideology. Where are you getting the
absolutely.
idea it's an ideology? Because that's what I really want to
Well,
push back on.
define ideology for me, Haas. Define it.
I would define an ideology as a system of ideas, a system of a specific idea. And I don't think MAGA communism is that. I think MAGA communism is just a strategy turned into a slogan.
So does MAGA communism consist of ideas?
That's irrelevant. Everything consists in ideas that can be put into thought.
All right.
Anything
it
that
a
can be
system?
verbalized consists
Is
in
it a system?
ideas, okay?
Is it a system?
No, it's not. It
What's
is
the
not a
system?
consistent system of thought or
Wait, so it's an
ideas.
inconsistent. It's an inconsistent system then.
No, it's not a system at all. It's a slogan.
Why did you have to reference the consistency of the system if it's not a system at all?
Because that was what would define an ideology, in my view.
Ideology can be inconsistent. Oh,
I don't think so necessarily. Unless it would probably not be a functioning ideology. You probably wouldn't be able to gain an inconsistent ideology. Probably would not acquire the mass phenomenal
Wow,
appeal
is
to
the
be
true
qualified as an
revolutionary.
ideology. Thank you so much, Gavin.
How
Appreciate
do
you.
how do you create an ideology? How do
You
create-
can't create an ideology. Ideologies gain traction organically. That's why we're not
I
making
never
up
asked that.
ideologies.
I never asked how does ideology gain traction?
No,
That-
I'm telling you,
that
ideologies.
presumes there is an
okay.
ideology. I'm asking how do you
Ideologies
create one?
cannot be
How?
made. They can't be created.
How?
Okay, how do they come to be is what you're asking?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, ideologies come to be because these ideas acquire consistency and relevance on a mass phenomenal level of some kind, usually that has some kind of relevance concretely to politics. So Marxism-Leninism is an ideology, not because someone made it up, but because it genuinely reflected the system of ideas, if you will, that corresponded to the revolutionary strategy of the Bolsheviks. To and after the seizure of power during the October Revolution.
So an ideology is a reflection of what people think.
No, it's a reflection of the ideas that correspond to unique historical phenomena.
Ideas are not thought?
What?
Ideas are thought, no?
Ideas are thought? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Is that not
Ideas
correct?
ideas can be thought of if that's what you're asking. Ideas probably reflect forms of thought if that's what you're asking.
Okay, so seems like this is what I call the Haas box. This is what I was calling the Haas box. So you have basically described ideology as dude, I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk.
Oh, they're always drunk. All these debaters are always drunk. It's always an excuse.
I'm not. I'm not.
performing
I'm
horribly in the
I'm
debate
not.
because
I'm not.
drunk. Another drunk person. Another drunk person. You know, you can just these sounds mean nothing when you can be muted. Okay, so another drunk guy coming on to debate me. The last how many people were drunk that came to debate me? Wow, it's a record. Continue. Go ahead.
I'm not President Run Day. I own my shit at the end of the day. All right.
Okay.
So I'm sorry about that. That was a little fucking childish. All right. I apologize. So my point was that MAGA communism is an ideology.
No, it's not.
Wait. Hold on.
It's not an ideology.
So is MAGA communism? Does MAGA communism have a set of beliefs? You said yes.
No,
that's the first
it doesn't.
thing.
I didn't say that.
So it has no beliefs. So how do you?
It's not a set of beliefs. You asked, are there ideas involved in MAGA communism?
So is beliefs not an amalgamation of ideas?
No, absolutely not.
What is a belief then? So if I say I believe that you're a
has
cuck,
to do a belief has to do with.
If I say I believe you're a cuck, is that not also a set of ideas which lead me to that point of belief?
No, it's a set of mental illnesses that leads you to that belief because there's no basis in reality for such a claim.
I never talked about the efficaciousness of the beliefs. I'm just saying
Doesn't matter. It's not reducible to ideas alone. It's probably reducible to some kind of mental illness. Anyway, why can't you get to the point here?
Well, I think MAGA communism is an ideology, but I think it's a meme one. So what I mean by
why do you think it's an ideology? What about it strikes you as an ideology?
I think it's a set of beliefs attributed to a person or group of persons, especially those held for reasons that are not purely epistemic.
Okay, so if someone believes in the moon and a group of people believe in the moon, which is most of society, is there a moon ideology?
No.
And why not? According to your definition, which you're
because again, the last part, especially those held for reasons that are not purely epistemic.
What do you mean purely epistemic? What does that mean to you?
Well, do you know what epistemic means?
Yeah, pertaining to knowledge. So what is that? What do you mean by that?
So an ideology is ideology is not necessarily based on thought, no?
Yes, ideologies, I mean, they're not based in thought, but they definitely involve thought.
You even said that. No, again, I didn't say there's no connection. I said it's not purely based.
Okay,
on
so
thought.
what is your point? What makes something an ideology in your view?
Well, again, it's a disanalogous the moon example because that's based on things like empirical thought and like data and stuff like that. Like
what do you mean? So it becomes an ideology when it's not backed by empirical evidence?
No, again, and the difference between your example of the moon and believing the moon exists,
yeah,
is disanalogous to MAGA communism.
Sure, why?
Because one is based purely on epistemic thought and one isn't based on purely epistemic thought.
What do you mean epistemic thought? Of course it's not purely based in epistemic thought. There's no such thing as something... You're saying it's purely based in knowledge? What kind of knowledge?
Yes, the
okay,
belief that the moon...
What kind of... Because...
The belief that... The belief that the moon exists is purely based on thought. You cannot have it any other way.
It's not purely based on thought. What a
Well,
ridiculous
what
claim.
else? What else is it based on then?
You're saying belief in the moon is purely based on thought?
Yes, hence the disanalogy. So what else is...
No. I'm going to
what
stop
else-
you there and kind of
No, you're not.
try and understand where you're coming from with that, because I'm pretty sure belief in the moon is rooted in quite a bit more than just pure thought, okay?
All right, so what was the main... Why did people believe that the moon existed in the first place?
Because they see this heavenly body.
Okay. And how do you see?
With your eyes, of course, or what are you trying to say? Are you under the impression that you see with your thoughts, or what? What are you trying to say?
No. How do you like compartmentalize and store in your head and then regurgitate and give to other people the idea that you saw a moon? Does that require
You
thought
usually
or no?
don't have to do that because enough people see it themselves for it to not have to be
Yeah,
transmitted
but how do you know other people saw it though?
through communication.
So does communication require thought?
And
So it is based on thought. Without thought, there wouldn't be a
no.
sense
You
of
said
knowledge.
it's purely
Like-
based in thought. You didn't just say it involves thought. Of course, everything pertaining to human belief and knowledge involves thought. But you said belief in the moon is purely rooted in thought. Where are you just trolling? Is this an actual serious debate? Like, what are you actually saying here?
I defined ideology, and then you gave an analogy to try and
Yeah,
undermine.
but why is it
my-
disanalogous? Because it
Yeah,
involves
again,
thought?
I was about to get there. Hey, I was about to get there.
Okay,
So,
get there. Go ahead.
I am getting there. Calm down, bro. And then you gave an example, an analogy, which supposedly undercut my definition. And then I said why it's disanalogous, because I think the idea to know that the moon exists is purely based on epistemic knowledge, and Maga communism is not based on purely on knowledge, as you have said yourself. So it's disanalogous.
So the belief in the moon is based purely on thought, which is how you've
Yes.
qualified the term epistemic knowledge, whereas Maga
Yes.
communism is based on what in addition to thought?
Well, that's not my job to tell you, because you yourself have conceded such.
What?
You yourself said an ideology is not purely
Yeah,
based
but if
on
we're going
thought.
off of what I say, I would definitely not say that belief in the moon is purely based in thought.
No, we're not talking about that. You said what? You made this remark, what, question mark, to me saying yes, to you saying that ideologies are not, MAGA communism to be specific, is not purely based on thought. You agree
It's
with me on
not
that?
purely based in thought.
So what is the moon based on then, if it's not thought? Give me an alternative, which kind of like an amalgamation. Give me other things in this equation which results into the belief that the moon exists.
The belief in the existence of the moon has to do with a specific interaction between people and something
How do you interact with people without knowledge?
Okay, so you're not very smart, and I have to explain this to you. Just
You don't-
because a given variable, like thought, is involved in something, doesn't mean it's the only thing involved. So obviously thought is involved in the belief in the moon, but a great deal more is also involved in that.
I don't care about
besides
generalities, Paz. I don't care about generalities. You can keep on saying it's
What
it's
does
not
this have to
true.
do with generalities? What does this have to do with generalities?
Because you've just said, the knowledge of the moon, the belief of the moon is not purely knowledge. You're not giving me another part of the equation which shows and displays that it's not just knowledge.
Okay, it's not just knowledge. How about the material fact of the moon existing and people perceiving it phenomenally when they see it in the night sky?
You're just using a bunch of words here. This is the Haas box where you just use a bunch of
Okay,
adverbs and
well,
adjectives.
I'll dumb it down for you. People see the moon in the sky. So obviously they sense it. They don't
How
just,
do they-
it doesn't
how
just
do they
come from their
express that?
thoughts. It
How
also
do they
comes
express
from
that sense?
what?
How do they know they have senses?
Dude, we're just gonna rehash what David Hume, Immanuel Kant, all that kind of jibber
Right.
jabber.
So if you
What
let's say
point
Hawes,
do you want to get? What's your point? What's
let's
your
say
fucking
Hawes,
point here?
Let's say Hawes, be quiet, cuck. Let's say Hawes that you see the moon. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a. Can I show you a graph that you can read, which shows my point perfectly?
No, you know what? Let me throw some shit at you and just say, are you saying the moon is rooted in oxygen? Because if we didn't have oxygen, we couldn't breathe, and if we couldn't breathe, we couldn't even have thoughts. We just fucking die. So obviously, oxygen is the supreme variable here, not thought, right? Because how could we communicate our perception of the moon if we can't breathe and we can't live?
Why I respond to you? Read this. I just posted in the chat. Read that. That is my point, by the way. We can do idealism versus materialism if you want to fucking do that. I can do that with you. I'm a fucking idealist. Read that firstly, and then we can get into the conversation. All right, I'll respond to you. So
this has nothing to do with anything you're saying. So get to your actual point.
You haven't read it. You can read like 600 words in like
yeah,
20
I've read it actually. It has nothing.
All right, tell me what it means. I'll delete it. Tell me what it said.
Okay, it's saying something about the relationship between objects and a subject's sensibility in relation to them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right, let's get back to my point. So, Hawes, let's say you look at the moon, right? Let's say you're the first person.
Thank you, Tristan. Appreciate you for the 20.
No, Tristan, go fuck yourself. All right, let's say, right, you see the moon. You're the first person to see the moon ever. You see the moon in the night sky. You see it, right? How do you know you've seen the moon?
I mean, the means by which I know the moon, this is just fucking sophistry. You can't reduce.
Yes, I can.
You can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't reduce.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't, because you can't account for novel perceptions and senses. How can you account for the fact that there are new experiences if you're just going to reduce every experience to the means by which it is transcendentally mediated, you fucking idiot?
All right,
How do you account for the possibility of novelty, dumbass? You ever thought of that, fucking moron?
Novelty. Okay, what do you mean by novelty? Something that's new?
Like, yeah, a new experience. You're just going to say, oh, that new experience was a thought in my head the whole time. It's a fucking quote. But practically speaking, that is a useless metaphysical and scholastic claim that can't be tested. It has no value, and there's no reason for us to believe it. There is no reason for us to believe that the means by which something is mediated or facilitated is actually the thing itself. We have no reason to believe that.
How do you know reality exists? Like, prove reality to me.
Because talking about reality is not a metaphysical claim. Reality is just referring to a specific relationship toward, for example, something, let's say, outside.
Is that relationship material? Is it material, that relationship?
Yeah.
Prove it.
It doesn't need to be proven because it's not a metaphysical claim. It's just it's a specific.
There's the cop out.
How is it a cop out? You're talking about metaphysics, and I'm not. When someone talks about reality, they're talking about something that has practical relevance when it comes to their interaction in society and with other human beings. It doesn't need to be proven in any scholastic or metaphysical way.
Wait, can you repeat what you just said?
Okay, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat what I just said. You're talking about a bunch of fucking jibber jabber that doesn't matter, so get to the fucking meat and potatoes. Make an actual fucking point. I'm not interested in running in circles with you, these sophistry. Get to an actual, like, relevant argument when it comes to...
I'm just employing the Jojo Howeist ideals of, of idealism, objective idealism. But, all right, we can get past this if you want. So, all right, so idealism wins anyway, but we won't get into it.
It actually doesn't, because because every time I make a point, you're just like, what? So, dude, you're not equipped to fucking have this debate. So, yeah, you probably should just move on.
Wait, but no, again, this goes back to my point, Hawes. Like, the idea of...
Stop posturing. If you want to have a serious debate about philosophy, you need to put a straight face on, sober the fuck up, and actually take this seriously. If you're not willing to fucking do that, get to the fucking meat and potatoes that stupid people can understand, because you're clearly not willing to seriously commit to the necessary maturity and impersonality to actually talk about these subjects. So shut the fuck up with your... Why would you... Dude, if you actually were someone who was well-versed in the history of philosophy and the wealth of philosophical beliefs and schools and trends, you wouldn't make it seem like there's some kind of like intuitively self-evident conclusion here. There is a range of every possible philosophical position that is as wild and crazy as you can fucking think of, and they're all just as valid as each other when it comes to the realm of ridiculousness. So stop posturing and making it seem like, oh, you're not even like a objective idealist like me. My specific philosophical jibber jabber. Shut the fuck up. Nobody agrees with you. Nobody's laughing in the same way you are, because it's an extremely contentious field where you have to be able to be mature enough to entertain different possibilities. So you're not willing to fucking do that. So just get to the actual fucking meat and potatoes of what you want to debate about that's relevant to what people care about. Nobody cares about this sophistry and jibber jabber you're trying to fucking introduce here.
And Mass, it's just a simple question, Hus, right? So do you think that material reality exists, firstly? That's the first question.
What do you mean by that?
Do you think that material exists? Do you think that, like,
do I think material has a meaningful reference?
Not
yes.
meaningful. I don't care what's meaningful.
Okay, well, I don't care what you're talking about, because what you're talking about is metaphysical, which I don't give a fuck about. I believe in dialectics, not metaphysics.
Oh wait! You know what the irony is? So Jojo Howism basically teaches you.
What is that? I've never heard of that. Can you entertain us and enlighten us?
Oh, it's this very kind of like nascent kind of new age type of idealism from
from where? From a Discord server you're in?
Oh no!
Okay, so where is it?
It's basically the idea. So, like, for example, do you follow the idea of like dialectical historical materialism, for example?
Okay, continue.
All right. So what I believe in basically teaches us that history is not material, nor is dialectical, not dialecticism, or nor is that. Wait, no. History is not material. Firstly, do you believe in that?
History is not material is a meaningless claim unless you can qualify what you mean here.
Well, does history exist in the material?
What is the material? What material?
Well, you believe in materialism, no?
Yes, I do. Materialism isn't the same as substantialism, where you believe in some supreme monad or a supreme substance.
Is material not the idea that matter is the fundamental substance in nature?
It has nothing to do with substances at all.
No, I didn't say substances. It's the fundamental substance in nature.
Again, the notion of a fundamental substance is metaphysical.
No, it's not. It's ontological.
Yes, it is. It has nothing to do with...
It's ontological. It's ontological.
No, it's metaphysical, actually. Because
ontological, bitch.
No, it's not. It's not ontological at all.
Wait, substance theory is not ontological?
No. If you say...
Wait, I'm gonna post in the chat, substance theory, and like the sixth word is ontological. We can talk about it if you want.
Are you gonna post to Wikipedia by chance?
Wait, yeah, the CIA Wikipedia. Yeah, I'm gonna post it with joy. There you go. So what is ontology? How do you define ontology?
Okay, this has nothing to do with what you were saying. If you're qualifying substance theory as what's written in this Wikipedia article, that has nothing to do with the notion that reality consists in some ultimate and supreme substance, which would be a metaphysical claim.
Why would
the claim
why would
the claim that being
why
the
would
claim
the
hold on the
Wikipedia
claim
mods-
that
why
being
would the
shut up for a
omniscient-
second shut up
Why
for a
would the
second
omniscient,
shut up for a moment.
all-knowing Wikipedia mods have a hyperlink to the word substance in materialism to this page?
I don't care, because if you read the page, it's just talking about the notion that all forms of being take on a substantive character, take on the form of a substance. That would indeed be an ontological claim, but the minute you start positing the content of that substance, you get into the realm of metaphysics.
You know what? Okay. Haas, have you ever read Plato?
Okay.
Is that an affirmative? Have you...
Can you get to the fucking point and stop wasting our time? Stop throwing out random shit. What is your point? Make a fucking point and stop wasting our time. I thought you were here to debate Maga communism, and you're talking about a bunch of fucking jibber jabber, going from one thing to the next. Get to a fucking point, dude.
All right. So, do you think that material is that which is empirically verified? Do you think that?
Do I think it's reducible to that? No.
So what do you think it is reducible to?
It's not reducible to anything. That's why I believe in dialectics, dumbass.
Dialectics is not. It cannot be materialistic.
Okay, well, I beg to differ, and so does the entire school of Marxism-Leninism.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a hunch and say they're wrong.
Okay.
All right. We'll
Any arguments?
Well, like you. Oh, this is what I love. This is the anti-intellectualism of your chat, just soy jacking at me posting.
Because
that.
I'm the one trying to pin you down on something intellectually tangible, and you're not, like, you're just making these noises. So yeah, my chat's just gonna fucking soy jack you, and that's not anti-intellectual. I'm actually trying to have a rational conversation with you, and you're just fucking posturing like a fucking dumbass. You're actually the anti-intellectual here.
You disagree because the entire fuckboy academy also disagrees.
What?
All right, you want to get to the meat and potatoes of the issue?
Yeah, I
We
do.
can.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
MAGA communism. What do you define it as? What do you define MAGA communism as?
MAGA communism is a strategy, according to
Strategy. A strategy to do what?
To contrive a communist movement in the United States from the soil of the MAGA movement.
Wait, contrive? Can you repeat that?
MAGA communism is the notion that communism, taken as a movement, a party, or even just an idea, will find its fertile soil in the MAGA movement. Or nowhere else in the United States.
Okay. All right, we'll work with that. I could quibble about if it's an ideology or not, but I don't think your fans really give a shit. So,
it's not an ideology, because saying it's an ideology assumes that it's some kind of new thing when it's just Marxism-Leninism applied to the American context.
Ideologies are not new. What do you mean by new things?
Okay, we are Marxist-Leninists, and we believe that the application of the science of Marxism-Leninism in the American context leads to the strategy of MAGA communism. It's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, I agree that because I agree that might be what the characterization is, but the linchpin of an ideology is not on the basis of it being new. What does that even mean?
It doesn't have to be new. It has to be separate from Marxism, Orthodox Marxism-Leninism.
No, it couldn't. It could just be a new iteration of an ideology. Like, you got structuralism and post-structuralism.
I am not interested in a new iteration of Marxism-Leninism.
But it is a new iteration.
No,
because
it's not.
There's no difference between MAGA communism and Marxist-Leninism. Marxism-Leninism.
No, they're different. Categorically, they're different. MAGA communism is a strategy, whereas Marxism-Leninism is a index of historical progress encapsulated into a body of knowledge and a school of knowledge.
Wait, so why would you categorize them differently if they're not different?
Because they belong to different categories.
If they belong in category, do you accept the idea that we categorize things differently because they're different?
Different in what sense? They're not different forms of the
Well,
same
for
ideology.
For example,
Category of ideology.
we may have like the idea of cars, right? We may categorize like an F1, a Formula One car, differently to like a fucking like a road car, or
Right,
whatever,
but they're all cars. That's the thing, right?
and all
They're
of them
still
are ideologies.
cars.
All
So
of them are-
MAGA communism
the
and
umbrella
Marxism-Leninism are not part of the same genus that is ideology.
They're not
One is an
different, though.
ideology.
They're not
One.
different.
Good morning, Revolution.
You said they're
Thank you
the
so
same.
much, Lionel. Appreciate you.
You said they're the same.
Dude, get to your fucking point. Are you gonna ask me a question or interrupt me every fucking 2 seconds? What do you want? Get to your fucking point. You're all over the fucking place. You said you fucking drunk right now, but it kind of fucking sounds like you're like on some upper or something. Dude, get to a fucking point. Make your point. Make an argument or ask a question. Stop fucking taking this in every fucking direction.
All right. Is MAGA communism and Marxism-Leninism the same?
What is your point? Get to your point.
I asked you a question, Oz. What?
No, because you're engaging in sophistry. Because when I say that they're not the same, you're going to be like, oh, so it is a different ideology. No, because they're not in the same category.
So why would you? What if they're in different categories? Surely there's a differentiator, which gives the reason to why they're in a different category in the first place.
The differentiator has to do with one is the application of a method and the other is the method.
So what? So which one is the ideology there? Marxism-Leninism?
Yes.
And what is a single word to kind of sum up MAGA communism?
A strategy. A slogan.
Do you
A
think?
slogan for a strategy.
And what's a strategy?
You don't know what a strategy is?
So to me, a strategy in this context would be an ideology with a purpose.
No, an ideology is a method. A strategy is the form of that method's application in a specific context.
So, okay. So let's take socialism. Does socialism have a strategy?
No, it doesn't.
So what is the strategy? What is the strategy extension of socialism?
Socialism isn't an ideology, dumbass. It's a fucking...
All right. Okay. Fair enough. It isn't. No, that's true. What is the strategy of let's say? Do you think Maoism is an ideology?
Okay, yeah.
What is the extension of that to which it is the strategy?
Usually a strategic form of Maoism can take the form of like People's War, right? In the Philippines, that takes a certain form. In Naxalite, by the Naxalites in India, it takes a specific strategy and form that they have words for.
Wait.
In Peru, there was the Gonzalowite. They also called themselves Maoists, and they pursued specific revolutionary strategies.
Okay. So So people's. Sorry, I'm not entirely. You're obviously well more read than me. So People's War is a strategy, of course. Yeah, it's a military strategy. I knew that. However, it's still part of Maoism, though.
What's your point?
Like the idea that you can separate People's War and Maoism is just
okay.
not.
Well,
true.
MAGA communism is also part of Marxism-Leninism in the American
Oh,
context.
so you agree it's inseparable? You agree it's inseparable?
In the American context, yes.
So MAGA communism is part of Marxism-Leninism, right?
Within the American context, yes.
So you would argue within the American context, MAGA communism is simply a part by which creates the ideology.
No, because usually an ideology is also defined by the application. First of all, Marxism-Leninism is more a method.
If they're defined by the application, why did you say they're different?
Usually an ideology is grouped together alongside its various forms of application.
But you just said they were the same, not grouped together.
That's not what I meant.
But you said, no, for example, right, People's War, I agree, is a stratagem.
Yeah.
However, People's War is a single tranche
Okay,
of strategy,
and
which makes
Maoism is part of Marxism-Leninism, right? So, can you please get to the point? What point are you trying to make here? That ideologies have specific strategic applications, or that scientific methods is really what we call Marxism-Leninism?
No, my point, Hawes, is that stratagems, amalgamation of stratagems make up the ideology. So Marxism-Leninism...
Not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true, because to me, Maga communism is a specific, like, it's the specific content of a strategy.
Wait. All right, I've got an example.
So it's not just a strategy, it's the specific content. It's a determinate strategy. Like, it's a specific plan of action, right? So
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not characterizing the plan of action to be specific. I'm saying, for example, take Maoism, right? Three worlds theory, social imperialism, people's war, self-criticism, mass line, fucking proletarian nation. All of these things are stratagems which make up the idea.
No, they're not. They're definitely not all stratagems.
Okay. I'm not. We won't go into that. So Marxism-Leninism. My point is, Marxism-Leninism is just a part. You agree that Marxism-Leninism? No. You agree Maga communism is a part of Marxism-Leninism, right?
In the American context, yes.
Sure. So,
dude, you know what I actually think this is? I think this is all metaphysical, because you're trying to define Marxism-Leninism as a metaphysical school, and it's not. Okay, Marxism-Leninism is an ideology, yes, but it's also the only ideology which is anti-ideological, because it's actually a practical method and a science. So you don't need to get into this stuff of, is Maga communism part of the metaphysical eternal scholasticism of Marxism-Leninism? Well, the problem is there isn't an eternal metaphysical scholasticism of Marxism-Leninism, because all Marxism-Leninism refers to is a specific index of historical methods. And in the American context, it's not Maga communism that would ever, if successful, become part of the the historical tradition of Marxism-Leninism. It would probably be a more underlying and more fundamental theory that uniquely allowed us to arrive at the specific strategy of Maga communism, such as, for example, a novel understanding of political economy and a novel understanding of information theory and culture and Gramscian hegemony, which led us to the conclusion of pursuing this strategy. So what matters is not the slogan as far as the science of Marxism-Leninism is concerned, but the method by which we arrived at that strategy and that slogan. That's what actually makes a difference as far as Marxism-Leninism is concerned. So no, Maga communism is not some kind of like iteration of ideology or even Marxist-Leninist ideology. It's just a strategy and it's just a slogan. The unique and underlying perspective that allowed us to arrive at that conclusion, maybe you can say that is a unique contribution to Marxism-Leninism. But the conclusion is not. That's how it works, right? Like, Mao's Great Leap Forward is not part of Marxist-Leninist ideology. Mao Zedong thought, which is what led him to that conclusion, is what's part of Marxist-Leninist ideology. So that's what we're dealing with. You're dealing with specific, like, slogans and events in history. That's not what becomes part of Marxism-Leninism. What becomes part of Marxism-Leninism is the methodology and the lessons learned from said things. So that's the difference. The four pests or the three pests campaign is not part of Marxist-Leninist canon. The underlying thing that was responsible for it eventually becomes immortalized as part of Marxism-Leninism.
So can I just get something concrete here? You did say for the record that Marxism-Leninism, Maga communism is an ideology, right?
It's not an ideology.
You just said it was, though.
When did I say it was?
Unless you said... Did you say Marxism-Leninism was an ideology?
Yeah.
Oh,
For
okay.
purposes
Okay,
of leveling
that's fine.
with you, for purposes of...
I'll-
See, I am just trying to skip jibber-jabber to get to the point, so I'm willing to kind of overlook technicalities, be like, yeah, Marxism-Leninism is an ideology. What's your fucking point? What is the point, though? I'm trying to arrive at what the point is here.
So you conceded to me. I didn't concede. You told me that Marxism-Leninism is a concept of Maoism.
No, I didn't. I said Maoism is part of Marxism-Leninism.
Oh, okay, that's even fine. That's perfect, okay? And you said Maoism is an ideology. So, under this logic, an ideology can in fact be a concept of another ideology, right?
What? No.
Yes, because under your logic, Maoism being a concept of Marxism-Leninism...
I didn't say it's a concept of Marxism-Leninism.
You just did, Haas.
I said it's a part of Marxism-Leninism, you dumb fuck.
Wait, what's a... Can you define concept for me?
Yeah, a concept would be that there's this metaphysical school called Marxism-Leninism, this Platonic form, and Maoism is a specific take on that Platonic form. It's not what I'm saying, and it's not what I believe.
Wait, but what is the difference between that and a concept?
Why should there be a difference? Because my whole point is that it's not a concept.
There's no difference. You just said.
No, I said what I didn't say, and you said, well, what is... That's what I'm not saying. So why are you bringing it up?
You just said, okay.
Yeah, repeat to me what I just said. Go ahead.
Maoism is a part of Marxism-Leninism.
Yeah, and then what else? Maoism is not a concept of Marxism-Leninism because it's not some specific, like, Marxism. It doesn't posit Marxism-Leninism as this, like, Platonic form that it tries to become a concept of.
So is a concept an abstract idea, and a building block, like a concept is to be understood.
This is such like schizo, incoherent jibber jabber. You need to get to your fucking point in a way that is meaningful and matters not just to my audience, but to like an average person who might watch this. What is your point? Get to your point. No one wants to hear your sophistry and jibber jabber. Get to your fucking point.
So my point is very simple, Huz.
Because my point is simple, actually. My point, when I say, hey, Maga communism is not an ideology, all I'm trying to fucking say is, hey, we're not trying to do anything necessarily new here by way of precedent. We are just Marxist-Leninists. It's not some new ideology we're trying to fucking make. It's just Marxism-Leninism as we think it is correctly interpreted within the American context. So it's like, we're like, I'm trying to be simple with you, and you're trying to take this into all like 10 degrees of sophistry and jibber-jabber. Explain to us why. Why don't you just get to your point? Because mine is pretty fucking clear.
I'm trying to. So we agree that Maoism is a part of Marxism-Leninism, right?
No, you need to explain to me your point here with this whole fucking dialogue tree you're trying to go down. Dude, it has been an hour. It's been an hour of you wasting our fucking time. Get to your point. I'm putting forward my argument right now. I want you to directly address it. My argument is this. Maga communism is not an ideology. We are just... The claim is that we are Orthodox Marxist-Leninists, and in order for Orthodox Marxism-Leninism to be communicated and be made meaningful in the American context, strategies like MAGA communism are necessary, right? MAGA communism is just a application of the method of Marxism-Leninism in the American context. That's what we're saying. Now, respond with your point. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm trying to draw an analogy here, Haas, between Maoism and...
No, I don't want analogies. I want you to directly respond to my point. Go ahead. Because every time you go down an analogy, you open up a fucking rabbit hole of like 12 different other dialogue trees I don't want to go down. I want to talk to you about the semantics of concepts in relation to forms and ideas. I don't want to fucking do that because it's a waste of all of our time and you're a fucking sophist and a jibber-jabberer. So make a concrete point. Make a concrete point here.
I don't believe in the concrete. Material doesn't exist, but I'll make
a fucking point. Make a fucking point.
Okay. So to you, no, I'm making a point by asking questions. I won't go to Maoism.
No, make your point. Make your point.
So to me, MAGA communism is an ideology. The reason why it's an ideology is because I think it fits like the fundamental reasons. The first reason is has a set of beliefs. MAGA communism is an iteration of Marxism-Leninism. By being an iteration, it by virtue has a set of beliefs. It's just different from Marxism-Leninism. Secondarily, it's attributed to a person or a group of persons. Firstly, you're a person, surely, and people who follow the ideology of MAGA communism are a group of people. Thirdly, you yourself have conceded that MAGA communism is not purely, the reasons why this is the case is not purely epistemic. And by virtue of that, and by virtue of this definition that was bestowed upon me by Ted Honderick, the Oxford Companion to Philosophy, page 392, this ultimately means that MAGA communism is in fact an ideology.
Okay, so you said a number of things that are just fundamentally unjustifiable, such as the claim that MAGA communism is an iteration of Marxism-Leninism, and that it's just different.
Did you say that yourself? Didn't you say that? No. Wait. You just strawman me. Iteration doesn't mean different entirely. It means there are some differences.
Okay.
However,
so I'm going to give you another chance, champ. Hey, kiddo, shut up. I'm going to give you another chance. One more chance. Okay. Ready? We are Orthodox Marxist-Leninists who believe that the application of the science and method of Orthodox Marxism-Leninism within the American context leads us to the strategy of MAGA communism, a slogan, the slogan of MAGA communism, which itself entails a specific political strategy. Now, I want you to explain to me why that makes MAGA communism an ideology. Go ahead.
All right, so the first thing, in fact, hold on. I'm sorry about this. I want to get your points, actually, because you keep saying I keep on rambling.
Okay, I'll actually simplify it for you. You know why MAGA communism is not an ideology?
I'm going to write it down for you. Okay. So the first thing you said is that you're a what of what? So you said...
We are Orthodox Marxist-Leninists. We don't ascribe to any metaphysical beliefs. We're not eternalizing the beliefs of MAGA into some eternal metaphysical ideology or system we adhere to.
I understand that. So when you say we are Orthodox Marxist-Leninists, you're an iteration of Marxism-Leninism, right? Because you have the condition.
No, I'm not an iteration of Marxism-Leninism. I'm a fucking... No, I'm just a fucking Arab guy from Michigan. I'm a human being who's breathing. I'm a biological male human being. I am not an iteration of a fucking method of history. So no, I'm not. As based and bizarre as that sounds, no, I am not an iteration of Marxism-Leninism. No, I am a biological fucking Arab male from fucking Michigan, USA. Okay, I don't know what a stupid claim that is.
I'm not saying there's some, context. I'm not saying you insofar as your person. I'm saying you insofar as you representing Marxism. So you means Marxism means MAGA communism in this example.
What is
MAGA communism?
What is Marxism? No. What is Marxism-Leninism outside its various instances and iterations, according to that view? Then
no. My point is,
what is Marxism-Leninism outside of iterations? Then
before you interrupt me on this weird id-pol shit, you said we are Orthodox Marxist-Leninists.
Yeah, we are.
So what is the difference between Orthodox Marxist-Leninists and Marxist-Leninists? You're Orthodox, right? What's the difference?
No, there's no specific difference. We're just trying to emphasize.
Why? What does Orthodox mean? What is Orthodox?
In line with the tradition of Marxism-Leninism historically.
Okay. So what's the difference between Marxism-Leninism and Orthodox Marxism-Leninism?
There isn't necessarily a difference. I'm just trying to strongly emphasize.
Why would you use the word orthodox?
I was gonna say it before you interrupted me, so shut the fuck up. I was just shut. I'm muting you. I'm muting you. This is so.
No. I'm sorry.
I muted this dumb bitch. I am just trying to strongly emphasize the coherence of Marxism-Leninism as a historical tradition in relation to us. I am just emphasizing that when I say orthodox Marxism-Leninism, I am not positing some non-orthodox form of Marxism-Leninism when I say that. I'm trying to strongly emphasize a specific tradition and continuity, a method called Marxism-Leninism, when I add orthodox in front of it. Now, this is complete meaningless sophistry right now, because not once have we arrived at an actual fucking point. I'm going to give you one opportunity to get to a fucking point here. Tell me the hill you want to die on and why we should give a fuck. Because this sophistry is fucking insufferable and it's a waste of all of our time. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, okay? So, okay. What I'm trying to get to you is, all right, I like to ask questions, okay? That is the type of person I am.
Yeah, I'm going to mute him one more time. He's getting server muted because he wants to keep asking questions instead of making a fucking point. I'm going to play the devil's advocate and be like, okay, Haas, how can an opponent actually argue with you on this point? And it's actually simple. You could say, no, Haas, I think Maga communism is an ideology because of the way it severely contradicts the ideology, traditional ideology of Marxism-Leninism. And you could probably try and begin there. Of course it's an ideology, because you are making an ideology of the beliefs of the Maga movement. You're emulating the reactionary sentiment of the Maga movement. You're emulating their bigotry and their conspiracy theories and their reactionary views on a number of issues. Give me a second, Roxoff. And on that point, you could be like, okay, it is an ideology. And I would be able to respond to you, right? But I'm just saying that would be your opening to make a point here that is meaningful and relevant to the topic. But you're not saying that. You're just trying to argue over semantics about what constitutes an ideology, rather than actually try and make an argument about whether or not Maga communism is, in fact, functioning as an ideology, as far as its relevance to the infrared community and myself, right? So that's the problem here. You're just engaging in sophistry and jibber-jabber, and it's a waste of all of our time. Go ahead. Thank you, Roxoff.
Huz, do you not agree that semantics is important within this debate?
No, I don't. I don't agree.
Wait, so semantics, if we take it as it means, the meaning of words, and this.
No, the meaning of the words we're using should be actively suspended in how we're using them. And if there's a misunderstanding, then within the limits of reason, you could just be, okay, what do you mean? And then we could level with each other. But you are stuck in this ground zero of arguing over the definition of words, which is completely meaningless. You're stuck in this fucking semantic ground zero where no substantive arguments are actually being made. You're just trying to arrive at these this logical equivalences based on a chain of logic, of sophistry, to arrive at a conclusion that was not initially intended, but is the consequence of a kind of semantic trick, where you're saying, oh, well, since this is the technical definition, even though this has nothing to do with what you meant, or even the meaning implied in the use of that word, this is the necessary conclusion if I subject this to some kind of like Anglo-box, formalistic, axiomatic fucking
there
system.
We go. There's the Anglo-box. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, because you are imposing some kind of like formalism here that doesn't exist. You're assuming that the manner by which we are using words fits within this dogmatic and axiomatically contrived meaning, rather than the fact of the meaning of words being suspended in their active use. You're making it seem like there's some there's some metaphysical definition of a word that pre-exists the word itself and thereby justifies your use of sophistry, like propositional logic, this sophistry that you're trying to use here, which is actually getting in the way of the ability not only to communicate, but to even have a debate, because there's no shared agreement or even implicit ability to be like, okay, I get what you mean, Haas. Let's move on to the actual debate. I'm trying to do that with you. I've done that multiple times. For example, I'll give you examples of how I've done this. For the sake of speeding up the debate, it's not actually, if you press me, it's like, is Marxism-Leninism an ideology? I probably would say no. But for the sake of speeding up the debate, I probably am going to guess that by an ideology, you're just kind of referring to a consistent and coherent school of thought and system of belief, whatever. I could level with that and be like, okay, I get what you mean. Yes, it's an ideology. But you are trying to kind of formalize these things and pin them down to some kind of like axiomatic, definition to be subjected to propositional logic. It's complete sophistry, and it's a waste of everyone's fucking time. I have sacrificed my puzzle box. If you don't know, we're not allowed to say on YouTube. I have sacrificed my kind of technicalities for the sake of leveling with you and arriving at some shared sense of meaning so we could actually speed up the debate. You are doing the opposite of that.
I agree. Okay. All right. I'll stop the sophistry. But again, would this entail me conceding that it is not an ideology?
Okay, why? No, because why? Because here's the bad faith here. You came in our Discord and you called Maga communism a meme ideology because someone.
So there's two things here. There's two things. There's two parts of the debate. Is it an ideology and is it a meme? And is it a meme ideology? They're the three things.
No. Shut up for a moment. Someone in this Discord said that your ideology, quote unquote, anarcho-capitalism, is a meme ideology.
No.
You hold on, yes, and then you responded by saying, "Oh, well, who are you to say this is a meme ideology when your Haas talks about MAGA communism or libertarian Stalinism?"
Absolutely.
But those are not ideologies, and even if I were to agree with you that they're ideologies, which I don't, they're definitely not ideologies in the same way that anarcho-capitalism is. So when someone calls your ideology a meme ideology, you can't say, "Oh, well, you believe in that's hypocritical because MAGA communism is a meme ideology." Well, no, it's not even an ideology to begin with, because technically we're just Marxist-Leninists, whereas anarcho-capitalists.
But again, Haas, this is my point. You're saying you're just Marxist-Leninists, but you're not. There's a difference between the two. If there wasn't a difference between the two, you wouldn't distinguish in words between the two.
What am I distinguishing in words?
Because you've made... Haas, if I say... Right, just tell me this firstly, and if it is a yes, I will move on. Is Marxism, Leninism, and MAGA communism synonymous with one another?
No.
Oh, so they're not the same. So there is a difference between the words.
Is a flower and a rose synonymous with each other?
Well, a rose is a flower is, for example...
No, I asked, answer my question. Answer my question, just like how you expected me to answer your question. Answer the question.
No, sorry. Is a rose synonymous with a flower?
Yeah.
Well, a flower is having the same meaning as another word. And I would say a rose does not have the same meaning.
Even though a rose is in fact a flower, or at least is...
The technical word here is not...
Okay, you know what? You're going to get to the point where I'm banning you. You're going to get to the point where I'm banning you.
Come on.
No, I'm done with the sophistry.
Right. Okay.
You're going to get to the point or you're getting banned, okay? MAGA communism.
I want to skip past the MAGA communist part and go to the other part. Because,
MAGA communism, someone said...
Yes?
MAGA communism, they said anarcho-capitalism is a meme ideology. You said, who are you to talk about meme ideologies when you have libertarian Stalinism and MAGA communism, none of which are ideologies? Yeah. None of which are ideologies. Wait, that's the point.
Do you think anarcho-capitalism is an ideology?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But why is it an ideology?
It's an ideology because it's this consistent, coherent system of ideas and belief.
Yeah. So, okay, this is the thing. This is the disagreement we have. You don't think MAGA communism is a system, right?
Okay, no,
Understand.
let me simplify it even more. Anarcho-capitalism seems to be a set body of principles and some kind of ideal projection of what society in the world should look like. MAGA communism is not a set of principles because that would be considered metaphysical. It's just a slogan. It's not a set of principles. It's not like an underlying worldview. It's not an underlying worldview in the same way anarcho-capitalism would be.
Now. So I think I get you now. Okay, I apologize if this is the case. So MAGA communism is a slogan to attract people to Marxism-Leninism?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. If that is the case, obviously you created the term. And okay, fair enough. It is an ideology. Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Sorry, it is. No, sorry, it isn't. It isn't. It isn't an ideology.
Okay. Great. Great. So now I guess you want to move to the part 2 of the debate, right?
Well, I've got one more thing.
Okay.
So the thing is, my problem is, I watched your stream where you talked about MAGA communism pretty extensively for like 4 hours. Had a belief set to MAGA communism. Like, how do you? All right, this is my question, I think I get you now pretty well, and I do think, if that is the case, it's not an ideology. But how do you attempt to attract the MAGA, side of your side of MAGA communism without appealing to the beliefs of them?
What do you mean by appeal to their beliefs?
Well, for example, like, I watched the IRL video, and a very common thing you harped on about, which I think was pretty effective, was the whole idea of like the strikes, right? And the railway strikes, like yeah. So the reason why people think on the MAGA side that the railway strikes was a poignant and salient thing for you to talk about, because they have a set of beliefs which kind of trigger that event to be important to them. So my question would be, if MAGA communism is merely a slogan, how do you?
I'll answer your question.
All right. You still get me. Right.
So because I understand what you're asking. So we don't actually believe that the reason people have the positions they have on a mass scale, like a MAGA movement scale, for example, has anything to do with underlying principles or beliefs in any ideas at all. We consider that to be an idealistic and metaphysical view. As Marxist-Leninists, we have a materialist theory of ideology, which is that the underlying reason why MAGA people espouse the beliefs they do is because those beliefs articulate and make sense of a specific material reality that they experience. And that also, positionally and situationally, they are embedded within, right? We're not just talking about experience, like in the id pol sense, I experience in my everyday life. It's more like positionally, where they stand in relation to, to society, right? And their beliefs articulate that. So we don't think the beliefs themselves are the point. The beliefs are the symptom. The underlying root cause has to do with a situational position, of which beliefs are just a proxy for. I didn't contradict myself, because there's a huge variation as far as belief among MAGA people. It doesn't have to be consistent at all. Like if Trump came out and said, I want to nationalize the rail system, his supporters would probably get behind it at the expense of the perceived underlying ideology and belief that, we just are against government nationalization and we want completely small government. So you see there's various instances of how the material ability for their position to be articulated contradicts any supposed system or dogma of ideas and belief.
Okay. You said something that I said was a contradiction, right? You said, but did you say belief is the system? The symptom, sorry?
Yeah.
But then you said right after belief is the cause.
No, I didn't.
You did. I swear to God that you did.
Well, I'm telling you now that I don't think belief is the cause.
What causes belief? If belief is the system, what is the underlying cause of belief?
Belief is the active means by which people,
It means
in the context of what belief means here, not belief in general. But if you're talking about what is the cause of people's ideas or discursive expressions of political ideology or whatever, it's because they best, in their world at least, articulate their situational and material position.
so a belief is based. People form beliefs on the basis of material
People form
reality.
beliefs on the basis of their ability to make sense of the world around them. That's all I'm saying.
How do you make sense of the world without a belief of the world?
Because you are already within a given world before you can even believe in it.
That wasn't my question, though. My question was, how do you believe it's the world without knowing what to believe, though?
You don't have to believe in anything to be in the world.
All right, I get you now. Okay, so we can skip to the second part now. That's fine.
Okay, the Grover Fur part. Okay, so guys, but we're not going to
I get
start
you.
yet. I have to share the link to the Rumble stream.
That's
So
fine, that's
guys,
fine.
we're going to go right to Rumble, and I'm going to be sharing the stream on, first of all, the Discord announcements. I'm going to be sharing it
Wait,
right
can I ask
here.
you one question, though, Haas?
Yeah.
Ask you one question. I'm sorry. There's a Do you know who Froggy is? There's a user called Froggy.
No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to go to Rumble right now.
All right. Okay.
We're switching to Rumble immediately. So everybody get ready to go to Rumble. And we're going to do that now. So let's go to Rumble. And Amirio or someone who's in the mod chat, go ahead and spam this link in the chat. I already shared it in the Discord. Let me go into the Telegram. We're going to share this in the Telegram. Okay. And we're going to immediately go right now. And yeah, spam that. Okay. We're going to Rumble, guys. See you at Rumble. See you over at Rumble. Go now. Okay. We're going to enter territory that's not allowed on YouTube. So we're going to go there right now.